guys, good evening. Again, Elvy Razonales. And I am so excited tonight as we continue to discuss about business taxes. I know you are also excited. Hopefully, we can learn more about this business taxes. Okay, so this is our introduction to business taxes. So module 1 naton, actually there are 5 major parts, no? Major parts naton. The first one is the concept and nature of business, and number 2, it's about the business taxes naman. So this first part naton sa discussion is only these 2, no? The next 3 naman is part 2 na lang natin, the taxpayers, activities, and procedures of business taxation. Okay, what is business, guys? Business is the regular conduct of commercial and economic activity with the primary motive of, remember this, profit or livelihood. So, nag-business or enter into business ang individual to have to earn profit, no? And secondary concern sina is may fall dito sa social responsibility, environmental safety or promotion, and safeguarding of or public welfare and interest. So, dua ang tandaan natin dito primary objectives in business to earn profit and also the social responsibility. Okay. All businesses perform various activities daily. So, tanan nga negosyo ko, no? Nag-perform lain-lain every day. So, sometimes, pero hindi tanan nga activities sila is subject to business tax. Only those business taxes, no? Nga involved sa sale of goods or service. Okay, paano natin masiling na ang business is considered as a business activity ang iya ginaobra? So there are 2 criteria. Okay, number 1, habitual engagement, and number 2, commercial activity. So number 1, ano ang habitual engagement? So meaning ko, no, ang habitual, there must be, no, ang keyword sila is regularity in transaction to construe the presence of a business. So kinalain naman sila is sa regular is ang casual or isolated. Amo yung mga activities na hindi siya part sa usual business ang isa ka company. These are presumed not made the ordinary course of business. So ang habitual engagement daw is normally manifested by registration with the appropriate government agencies as a dealer or a service provider in a particular trade or vocation. But non-registration is not an excuse to business taxation. So, para mas ma-intindihan pa natin, let's have this. Okay, example number 1, Mrs. Ellerton, a medical practitioner, sold his principal residence for 10 million. Yeah? So, the sale of real properties by a non-realty dealer is a casual sale, not made in the course of business. Hence, it is exempt from business tax. So, since medical practitioner si Mrs. Ellerton, so exempted ang iya nga pagbaligya sa iya residence sa business tax. Okay? Example number 2, si Ma'am Merto, a realty dealer, purchased shares of stocks as investment and sold them at a profit. Although naka-profit siya, ang iyang profession is realty dealer. So, the acquisition and sale of stocks investments by a realtor are not made in the course of the realty business. So, hindi siya related sa iyang profession as a realty dealer. So, hindi siya subject to business tax. Unless, may isa ka example, no? Kung si Ma'am Merto naging security dealer siya. So, ang transaction sang pagbakalis ng shares of stocks as investment. So, subject siya business tax. Last example natin, Joshua is a proprietor, regularly engaged in trading merchandise. During the month, he reported the following: sales of merchandise, 800,000, and sale of personal car. So, sabihin na ang subject sa business tax. Ang 800,000 na sales, amo na siya ang subject sa business tax because amo na niya business trading merchandise. Ang 1.2 million naman na sale of a personal car, personal naman niya salakyan, hindi man siya part sa niya trading business. So hindi siya subject to business tax since hindi man siya car dealer. So amo na siya sa habitual naton na engagement. And may iban pa gid nga business like Changi. We will proceed sa privileged stores, commonly known as Changi, are stalls or outlets not permanently fixed to the ground, which are put during special events such as festivals or fiesta, based na sa Revenue Regulation 16, 2013. To be considered a privileged store, the store should engage in a business activity for a cumulative period of not more than 15 days. Otherwise, they shall be considered regular taxpayers subject to business taxes and income tax. So, tandaan natin, not more than 15 days. So, magsobra kasi na, of course, subject ka na sa business taxes. Privileged store operators shall not be considered habitually engaged in business, considering their limited activity. They are exempt from business tax but is subject to income tax. So, kumabot ka, sir, ano kinalain sa business tax sa income tax? Dito parehas malang gakanda ka sa negosyo. No? So, we will discuss this further. So, income tax versus business tax. So, subong business tax ang tanay. Okay? Para mas maintindihan pa rin natin, no? Example number 1, Mang Andrew makes keychains and wood art for sale to tourists during the annual Benga or sa ibang Benga festival. He rented a booth from the city of Davao, the Changge organizer, and recorded sales of 350,000 over the week-long activities. So may festival, so global siya sang keychains dito sa city of Baguio. So nag-sale siya na 350,000. So ano ang iyang classification? Is it subject sa business tax or not? Mang Andrew is not considered habitually engaged in business. So, his 350,000 sales is not subject to business tax, but is subject to income tax. Okay? Kaya hindi man siya part sa iyang habitual engagement. No? So, example number 2, Dave's Bake Shop, an established business enterprise, also rented a booth from the organizer, City of Baguio, to sell its cakes and pastries during the Panagbenga Festival. Dates generated 400,000 peso sales during the event. So, di ba, bake shop siya? Anong usual business niya? Nabaligya siya sa cakes and pastry. So, it just happens na may festival dito sa Baguio. So, nabaligya naman siya, nag-extend lang siya sa niyang regular business. So, technically, dira pa lang maintindihan mo, subject siya sa business tax. So, si Dane's Bake Shop is not a privileged store, hindi siya changi-changi, no? Since it is an established and regularly operating business. So, the 400,000 sales in the event should be subject to the usual business tax. Okay. And of course, there are some exemption, no? And we will discuss it further. But in your handouts, you have there, insight ko lang dire, ang isa, services rendered in the Philippines by a non-resident persons shall be considered as being rendered in the course or trade or business, whether in sales, regular or isolated. Ang current tax law naton, ang consumption tax on import or services a business tax. The sales of services by non-residents, so kumbaga ang mga foreigner, no, are subject to final loading tax. So it's a different naman siya classification. Okay? Commercial activity. So kanina, di ba? Elements of business. Number 1 is the habitual engagement. Number 2, ano siya? Commercial activity. Para kung ma-consider, matawag ang activity as a business. So it means engagement in the sale of goods or services for a profit. So sales of goods or services for a profit. Kanina, engage lang kamo, right? Ang regular engagement ninyo, so negosyo. So here sa commercial activity, of course, involves money or anything considered as a commercial activity. The goods or services must be offered to the public with a motive to earn unrestricted amount of pecuniary gains. However, the actual existence of a profit during the period is not a precondition to business taxation. Even if the business nag-loss siya, wala siyang profit, business tax still applies. So, ang managali, no? Commercial activity, it doesn't mean nga profit lang perme. So, may mga times na may mga net loss ang company, it's still part pa rin siya sa commercial activity na business tax mag-a-apply. Okay, we will discuss it further, no? Different types of taxes na certain net loss na gani na may tax man siya dapat nabayaran. Okay? So that's the elements of business, the habitual and commercial activity. The following are not businesses. So we discuss natin what are those activity, no? Makonsider natin na business. So subong naman we will discuss ang mga example na hindi siya business. Number 1 sila is the government agencies and instrumentalities, non-profit organization or association, employment, directorship, a corporation, business for mere subsistence. So, of course, ang gobyerno naton hindi man na business, no? Kaya of course sila ang regulate sa tanan, no? non-profit organization, mga NGO. So, wala man sila, may habitual activity sila, but wala sila sa commercial activity na mag-earn sila profit, no? Employment at the same time, and directorship in a corporation, and business for mere subsistence. Just to elaborate lang, ano may examples ng business for mere subsistence? Business, principally for subsistence or livelihood, refers to businesses with gross sales or receipts, ay tandaan natin, not exceeding 100,000 per year. So, mere subsistence lang ko, ang tawag sa isa ka business kung ang iyong sales or receipts not exceeding 100,000 per year. So, may ginatawag makita ang marginal income earners refer to individual na derived compensation income under an employer-employee relationship but who are self-employed deriving gross sales or receipts not exceeding 100,000 in any 12-month period. Okay? So, usually mga self-employed din sila. Pero ang ilang income, wala na-exceed sa 100,000 in 12-month period. Ano example na to sa marginal income earners? Naman siyang subsistential farmers or fishermen, small sari-sari stores, small carinderias or turo-turo, drivers or operators of a single unit tricycle, and others similarly situated. The term marginal income earners do not include, of course, it does not include mga licensed professionals, doctors, mga CPAs, consultants, artists, sales agents, brokers, including all others whose income have been subjected to withholding tax. Okay? So, amila siya yung example natin sa mga marginal. Kumbaga, dira lang sila sa margin. So, maglapaw sila sa ilang mga income. So, magiging subject na sila sa tax. Okay. So, that's it. Actually, that's the first part na to, the concept and nature of business. So, hopefully, yeah, you got something na may idea ka mo about habitual engagement, about commercial activity, ano yung sample sa ating na activities na makonsider siya as business na masubject siya sa business tax. So, second part, since sa ating discussion is the concept and nature of business taxes. So, we're going to discuss natin what is business. And this time, let's talk about the business taxes. Okay. Parts in actually, i-go over lang natin ang kinds of business tax. That's VAT, percentage tax, and excise tax. So, ano meaning sa business tax? Ano na siyang gina-impose o the onerous transfer product, property, and services. So, ano meaning sa onerous transfer? Ano na siya means that there is a monetary, may kwarta, no, na consideration involved in the transfer of goods or services between the owner and the buyer. However, if the transfer of goods or services is without consideration or libre lang, the transfer is said to be gratuitous. So, simple term na daw, thank you ka lang, gratitude, no? Pasalamat ka lang. So, there's no consideration. So, hindi mo na sila nga onerous, kundi gratuitous transfer. So, sa linda ang subject to business tax. Of course, the onerous transfer na may monetary consideration. So, sa din naman ang gratuitous transfer subject, of course, transfer tax. Okay. So, meaning, yung group na to ang business tax. No? Onerous transfer subject to business tax. So, muna siyang VAT, percentage tax, and excise tax. Ang gratuitous naman, estate tax, and donor's tax. Now, we will discuss this further. And, yeah, actually, hapos lang siya. So, we will discuss this future. So, makibot ka mo nga ang sa libro, hindi siya kasunod ang ating discussion. Kay example, nag-discuss ko subong sa coverage of value added tax, percentage tax, and excise tax. So, kumbaga, the overview lang niya. So, that's why na-discuss it unlike sa libro, diretso sa dayon sa business taxpayer. So, i-discuss na sa part 2. So, this time, we will discuss the coverage of value added tax. Okay. The value added tax is imposed in the following. Okay, or VAT, no? Sale of goods or properties in the ordinary course of business. So the keyword here is the ordinary course of business, sale of goods or properties. And number 2, sale of services and use or lease of properties in the ordinary course of business. So kanina, diba nag-discuss kita about habitual, about commercial activity. So may discuss kita kanina ng medical practitioner siya, tapos nabaligya yung balay, hindi siya part ng ordinary course of business. Kumbaga, doctor siya, tapos nabaligya siya sa real property. So hindi siya ordinary course, right? Pero kung part siya sang usual, ordinary, or part siya sang regular transaction sa business. So it also covers under the value added tax. Also, number 3, usually ka-cover ni siya sa importation of goods or properties, whether or not in the course of business or trade. Okay, import kita. Import, kumbaga, bakal kita from, example, outside the country, no? Kasulod. So, importation of goods. So, once import kita, subject na siya sa value added tax. Ang na mga keyword na ito na kailangan itandaan sa, when we discuss in the future sa value added tax. Okay? Number 2 naman, na-cover sa onerous na ito, no? Na definition kanina. Onerous transfer is the percentage tax. Ano siya? Gina-impose ni siya usually on services. Usual gali sa mga services lang din. Kanina sa VAT law, di ba? Goods, sale of goods or property, services, and importation. So, subong percentage is usually or generally imposed sa mga services. The following taxes are among those percentage taxes mentioned in sections 116-127 by National Internal Revenue Code is amended. Number 1, tax on persons exempt from VAT. Okay, may criteria na siya na ang person yan ay exempted sa VAT. No? We will discuss it further. So, common carriers tax. Number 3, tax on international carriers. Number 4, franchise tax. Overseas communications tax. Tax on banks and non-bank financial intermediaries performing quasi-banking functions or GRT. And next part man sa percentage tax, no? Tax on finance companies, tax on life insurance premiums or the premium tax on agents of foreign insurance companies, amusement taxes, winnings from horse races, stock transaction tax. So medyo madamo-damo siya, no? Pero as we go through, tapos lang siya tandaan. So kung hindi siya covered sa VAT, covered siya sa percentage tax. So usually, there's no transaction na goods or properties, usually sa mga services siya. Okay? Next part sa atong onerous transfer, coverage of excise tax. So number 3, excise tax or ang ibang na siling sini is tawag sin taxes, SIN. So sala na tax. So sin taxes, no? Excise tax within the context of business tax is imposed on the following. Number 1, alcohol products such as distilled spirits, wines, and fermented liquors. So di ba mga palahubog, no? Number 2, tobacco products such as cigars and cigarettes, no? Sinudaga smoke. So, part sina actually sang ginabayaran naton is ang excise tax or sin taxes, di ba? Yung pataas pag because ng train law naton, no? Number 3, petroleum products such as gas, gasoline, diesel, wax, lubricant oils, and greases, kerosene, naphtha, denatured alcohol, coke, asphalt, and bunker fuel oil. So, part sa mga petroleum products, subject na siya sa excise tax. Number 4, mineral products, whether as metallic or non-metallic minerals and quarry resources. So, sa mga mineral na tol, sa mga coal, sa mga ginamine, no? Mga mineral products, so subject na siya sa excise tax. And duwa pa again, no? Miscellaneous articles such as automobiles, mga salakyan na tol, and essential goods like jewelry, perfume, and yacht, and sweetened beverages like soft drinks and sweetened drinks. Yung keyword sina actually is non-essential goods. So, hindi siya essential, no? Daw, mga palamuti lang. So, kumbaga daw, mga unnecessary things, like mga sweetened beverages, no? Sino na pala inom sa soft drinks, sa mga sweetened drinks, no? Ang subject na siya sa excise tax. Non-essential services such as cosmetic surgery. So, sa Philippines, medyo uso na siya, di ba? Kanday bigubelo, kanday paikalayan, so, kamadang cosmetic surgery, kumbaga, non-essential, ang word, basta ganit non-essential, ang smoke, ang ano pa kanina, mga ilim noon. So, kumbaga, it's not part sa aton na unlike sa mga bugas, unlike sa mga drinking water naton. So, when we say sin taxes, so na siya, mga excise. Kumbaga daw, mga excess, no? You could say mga not necessarily mga things. So, may mga tax mga yapon when we buy these things. Okay? I think we tackled already the nature and concept, no? Sa business taxes. Okay. So, next part naton, which is medyo madamo-damo din siya, actually, though there are 5 categories, no? Procedures of business taxation. So, ano ang procedure naton of business taxation? Anong basis naton? How do we evaluate? How do we identify? How do we determine or classify, no, the sales or receipts, whether they are exempt or not? So, these are the procedure. As we identify this, I think there are 6, no? Determine taxpayer, determine if the goods or service service offered is excisable, no? So let's learn. Number one, let's learn together, guys. And I hope okay pa ka man, no? And I know it's not new sa iban sa inyo nga naka-advance rate na sa atin na topic. And also, I hope if you have questions, just feel free to type or just feel free to, sir, may question ko about this, about that. Hindi clear ang among let me know, guys. Just comment in the comment section below. Or you can message me sa Facebook or Messenger. Okay? Number one, procedure natin of business taxation. Evaluate if the sales activity qualifies as a business. So, evaluate natin kung ang sales sina is ma-qualify kung negosyo man or business. If not, the activity is exempt from business tax. So, kung hindi siya mag-qualify ang sales activity, so hindi siya subject to business tax. Diba? Simple. If yes, the business must register for business tax. So, the word registered. So, kung part man sa iyang negosyo, there is a commercial transaction, so dapat na i-register for business tax. When hindi ka mag-register, of course, lagsan mo magatan sa BIR, no? During tax mapping. Proceed to the succeeding procedure. Okay? So, kung baga daw, landerize ni siya, no? About, step 1, evaluate. If yes, then proceed to number 2. Anong number 2? Identify the taxable person. So, after evaluate, identify mo person. Is it a person, a individual or corporation? If individual, include all proprietorship businesses, including branches of the individual taxpayer. Example ako, may negosyo ako sa Antique, tapos go-work ako dito sa Iloilo, tapos may negosyo pa rin ko dito sa Padilla, or anywhere else. So, i-consolidate ko na siya, i-include ko into a one amount, then amo na i-report ko as my business transactions. Okay? If juridical naman, it includes all branches of the corporate taxpayer. Usually, mga corporation na siya, no? Juridical. So, after mo ma-identify, number 3, ngayon muna to, is determine the activity type. So, anong activity sa isang business? Is it sales of goods? So, determine mo ang sales. If sales of services, determine the receipts. Okay? So, may kamay din ang distinction, no? Ang word na sales and the receipts. So, when we say sales of goods, usually, ang terms na ginagamit natin is sales. If sales of services naman, no, there's no goods involved, determine the receipts. Okay? Sa BIR naman, magaba sa BIR, lain-lain na ang receipts nga ginatawag. May collection receipts, for the services rendered, may ginatawag na sales invoice, for the goods nga gibaliga, may ibang pagiging charge sales invoice, may ibang pagiging cash sales invoice, so different activity types, so different corresponding receipts also. Number 4, after mo ma-identify ang activity type niya, i-classify mo ang sales or receipts, whether they are, tatlo kabilog, no? Is it exempt sales or receipts? Then, hindi ka na magbayad sa business tax kung exempted mo siya. Okay? So, mamakot ka, sir, parang mabalan kung exempted siya sa tax or not, kung exempt sales siya or receipts. Okay? So, amo na natin nga, i-learn pa in the future. Okay? There are different types of transactions na exempted siya sa sales, sa business tax, rather. Number 2, sales or receipts subject to specific percentage tax, pay specific percentage tax. So, bigyan na tawag kita nga, kaya na, di ba, under sa value added tax. So, kung hindi sila covered sila, karon i-determine natin sa number 5, no? Na, ano kinalain, sir, sang business tax, sang VAT, percentage, excise. Okay? And number 3, vatable sales or receipts. Okay? Second to the last na siya. Natin nga discussion. Determine taxpayer registration type. Determine taxpayer registration type. So, usually, ang isa ka taxpayer, no, isang public sole proprietor, nakato na siya sa DTI, pa-register siya, tapos makato sa City Hall, maparegister sa isang iyong business. After that, napangayo sa BIR sa mga legal documents. So, after mag-register siyang taxpayer sa BIR, may-issue na siya sa COR, or Certificate of Registration. So, tanan nakasulat usually color yellow siya na paper. Dira nakasulat kung VAT siya, registered or non-VAT. So, dira natin ma-determine. So, kung VAT registered daw, ang isa ka taxpayer, then, mabayad siya sa 12% VAT. Pay VAT on vatable sales or receipts. So, VAT, no? So, randa natin ang input and output VAT natin. Okay? Kung hindi naman siya non-VAT registered, then, ang bayaran niya, in general, no? Kita mo naman siya percentage tax. But ang subang i-discuss natin, pay the 3% general percentage tax. Then determine the magnitude of 12-month profitable sales at the end of every month. So ano unubot silingon? If it exceeds 3 million, the person shall register as VAT taxpayer, pay VAT prospectively, effective on the succeeding monthly profitable sales or receipts. Example, sa evaluation natin, di ba, example, nag-register ka sa BIR, estimate ko less than 3 million lang in 1 year. Ako nga income, sales or receipts. So, non-VAT lang ko na yan. No? 3% lang bayaran ko based on gross sales. Example, estimate ko na 1 million lang ko income ko the whole 2020. So, register ko, non-VAT lang ko na registration. Pero, example bit, natapos ang COVID, no? September, October. Ay, ang income ko kalabot na 2.5. So, nung na-exceed ko sa 3 million now, at the end of the year, or at the end of the 12-month, no? Fiscal or calendar year siya. If it does not exceed 3 million, the person shall continue to be paying 3%. Kung magsobra siya gani, if it exceeds, then, na-register ko as a VAT taxpayer within that calendar period. So, ang ato natandaan sini is ang 3 million benchmark na to, no? If it exceeds 3 million, then register ka sa VAT sa BIR. If it falls sa 3 million, then 3% lang yung right? Same ka mag-Japan, percentage tax. Okay? So that's it. Number 5, determine taxpayer registration time. And last sa atong discussion, number 6, yuhu! Excited na iba magpuli or magtulog. Number 6, that determine if the goods or service offered is excisable. So ano ganito kina? VAT percentage and excise tax. So excisable or excise tax or sin tax. If yes, pay the applicable excise tax in addition to VAT or percentage tax. If not, pay only VAT or percentage. Okay? As simple as that. Actually, natin nga procedure of business taxation. So, to recap lang, procedure of business taxation. Number 1, evaluate if the sales activity qualifies as a business. So, kung business siya, if not, then exempted siya. Or if yes, then ma-register siya subject to business tax. So, business tax natin, again, tatlo, VAT, percentage, and excise tax. Number 2, identify the taxable person, kung ano siya, individual or corporation or juridical, no, entity. Number 3, determine the activity type. Activity, ano kinabaligya? Goods or service. Okay, number 4, classify the sales or receipts, whether they are tatlo, no? Kung exempted siya sa sales or receipts. Number 2, sales or receipts subject to percentage tax. Or number 3, is it vatable sales? So, i-classify mo siya. Okay? Second to the last, determine the taxpayer registration type. No? Kung VAT registered, ano ganit tandaan natin na amount? 3 million. Kung magsobra na, di ba? 3 million. So, pa-register si taxpayer as a VAT registered individual. Kung below gani or does not exceed 3 million, the person shall continue paying the 3% general percentage tax. And lastly, siya, number 6, determine if the goods or service offered is excisable. If yes, then pay the applicable excise tax in addition to VAT or percentage tax. If not, pay only VAT or percentage tax. Okay? That's it. We discussed already the concept, the nature of business, the concept and nature of business taxes, which includes also the VAT, percentage tax, and excise tax. So the next part sa ating discussion is the business taxpayers, business activities, and actually procedures of business taxation, diba? We discussed it already. So, iwan na lang kulang natin yung discussion. Okay? Thank you guys. Hope to see you soon. God bless.